a 7-year-old who died after she was attacked on a playing field, suffered severe cuts to her neck and chest from a Stanley knife, a court heard today. 7-year-old Katie Ruff died in hospital after she was found with serious injuries following the shocking incident in York on Monday afternoon. Katie's grandparents and other relatives were at York Magistrates Court this morning to see the 15-year-old charged with the schoolgirl's murder remanded in custody. The teenage defendant, who was flanked by 2 security guards and a youth offending team manager, stood in the center of the glass-fronted dock and said nothing during the 8-minute hearing. Lawyers told the court that Katie suffered severe cuts to her neck and chest made with a Stanley knife during the incident. The girl accused of murder stared straight ahead as her solicitor answered questions about her name and address. The girl, who was wearing an oversized grey sweatshirt and has long brown hair, will appear before Leeds Crown Court on Friday. Katie's parents, Alison and Paul, were not present, but Paul's parents, Steve and Sharon Ruff, walked into court arm in arm. Katie's half-sister Bethany Smith and half-brother Jack Hudson were also present. Katie has been described as a kind, thoughtful and sweet child and was often seen by neighbors laughing and playing with her friends. Less than a fortnight before her killing, Katie had been a bridesmaid at her mother's wedding to Paul Ruff, Katie's father. Witnesses described how Katie's parents arrived at the scene of the alleged attack soon after their daughter was found. Katie's mother, Alison, 38, collapsed at the scene and cried, "No, no, my little girl," witnesses said yesterday. Her husband slumped against a wall in despair. Mrs. Ruff is believed to have traveled to the scene by car. The semi-detached family home on the Foxwood estate is half a mile away. Katie was put into an ambulance on a stretcher while wearing an oxygen mask. She later died in hospital. Rob McCartney, 50, said he saw the young girl lying in the field near the quiet cul-de-sac and her mother running up the street shouting for help. Nearby resident Mr. McCartney said, "I spoke to her later, asked if she was okay, and she said no, she's my little girl." Katie was taken to hospital where she died, police said. Katie's aunt Sarah Knuckles, 37, said, "We are all just absolutely devastated. We just need to be given time to grieve." Tracy Ralph, Katie's head teacher at Westfield Primary School, said her death was a terrible loss. Katie was a kind and thoughtful child who was well liked by both pupils and staff, she added. The area where Katie was found, which is less than a mile from the family home, was cordoned off on Tuesday while forensic officers examined the scene and mourners laid flowers in the street. One couple, believed to be the young girl's grandparents, left a bouquet with a card, which read, "Night, night my darling Princess Katie, love Nana and Grandad." Neighbor Connor Sinclair, 41, said, "Katie was a really sweet girl, she always looked happy. She seemed very popular and had lots of friends, I'd see them playing in the street and square." Another neighbor described Katie as a quiet, shy and pleasant little girl. Mrs. Ruff's ex-husband Craig Smith said, "Alison was an absolutely brilliant mother. Those kids meant everything to her. They were always well fed, had good clothes on their backs, and were well loved. She must be heartbroken. She doted on her kids all the time. They came first regardless. She had a big family, but there was plenty of love to go around. She was a wonderful mother and always put them first."